Hey everybody, thank you for coming to my channel. This is Wendy, and I am turning this book, this children's book. Of course, I think it shouldn't just be for children. I love this. The Box Trolls. I'm turning this book into a single signature style, maybe beginner journal for a beginner junk journalist. So I was going to show you how I do this. It's similar to doing like an envelope journal, or I like to use DVD picture covers as well. That's how I did my Legally Blonde. This is kind of the same concept. Okay, it's single signature, so it's not going to have a wide spine. We're going to use what's here, so it will get maybe a little chunky, but not by much, because we're going to restrain ourselves. At least that's what I tell myself. Anyway, so these books either are stapled, the pages are stapled in, which make it so much easier to dismantle, because you just remove the staples and then you have your pages. Otherwise, they're glued. So when they're glued, I just very carefully, I already did it though, I just very carefully started tearing it off. So I'm left with an intact spine, which is fine if it didn't, because we can always tape and glue it together. And the pages came out semi together. So they are together, but they're only glued together. So I will reinforce this. I'll probably use some washi tape on one side just to give it a little bit extra, because not all of these are going to be put in as a signature. I'm going to add some fun, paper as well. Is that not the coolest picture or what? And what else was neat about this little book was the stickers. It came with stickers, so I'm debating whether to use the stickers or put them in a pocket for whoever gets this and they can use it. So that's something to think about. But what gets me on this is I see so many kids' books. So many of these books are just being tossed away, given away, put in junk piles, and I see a lot of books being donated, and then there's just so many so many of them. So I decided I will just turn this into a journal, be it for a kid or an adult. I personally like it because I like the look of it. I love the look of this. What am I saying? It's just, just up my alley. So I thought, let's do this. Let's see how it goes. I don't really have any step-by-steps. I'm just going to do this how I think it should be done. And we'll go from there. So first thing I'm doing, since I did get this with the cover intact, as I think about this, I will reinforce the outside spine after I get the signatures in, which I will put the signatures in, and then I will probably either put some paper over the spine or maybe some fun fabric, but that will be the last step. After they're in, then I will put this on here. Now, second question will be, do I want to leave this as is, or am I going to decorate it? I kind of just like it being a book, and then it being more of a surprise inside. So I will probably leave the outside cover alone, just because who's going to think when they see this that it is a really cool journal? So we'll see. I might change my mind afterwards. So the first thing I'm going to do is reinforce the spine. And what I am going to do with this is I'm going to get out my trusty duct tape, because like I said, this is a single signature, and we don't want too much. We don't want too much bulk, is what I'm saying. So the less the better. Okay, I'm just saying. Unless you're gonna really dismantle this. And so what I do is I'll just put it straight down the center, And that'll give it just enough to, you're going to be like, yeah, right, Wendy, that you need, you know, no, because we're going to be covering the inside of this with cardstock or, you know, your scrapbook paper or whatnot. So that's really all it's going to need, because remember, we're going to do the outside. We're going to reinforce the outside. So, all right. I'm just going to burnish that in. Where's my bone folder? Everybody, a lot of people think they don't need to burnish this. I recommend you do, because the flexibility just gets a little better. It's like you're warming up, or, you know, molding it. Okay. Now, next step is covering the inside of the book. And doing that is what's going to give it a little bit more sturdiness. Even though, how much sturdier do you need? This is a book. This has actually lasted through kids reading it, you know, or parents handling it, or it being stored, and, you know, it's a heavier paper. So let's see what we need to cover this with. And I am thinking, let's look at some of this. I'm going to use some of my scrap paper, and maybe not the right, oh, I don't know. Oh, where's my Wild and Crazy? And I got some of this pretty, hold on guys. I'm getting some stuff out. Alright, so if I use this is kind of like a pale, I can't even tell. It's like a gray, violet, gray blue. So if I put, and what I'll do is I will overlap. That's the key there, overlap. I will overlap as much as the tape is. I don't know. Okay, so if I do that, then I'll come back. The reason why I think I'm going to use the solid color is because I can decorate it and things will pop more. Don't you think? So when I want to cut up the title and stuff, it's not going to be fighting with the background. I can always add that. Okay, so I'm going to put this down first. So what I'm going to do, where is my glue? And I'm doing a sponge today. I am going to do a sponge. And I'm just going to use my tacky glue. And I'm going to be generous. There's my tacky glue. And I'm going to be generous with it because I have no control. Alright. People say that they water down their wet, you know, their tacky glues and stuff, but I don't mind watering down my Mod Podge or my Elmer's, but to me this just seems like it needs to be that thick coating. Alright, so what I'll do is, like I said, I'm going to match it right up to here. press it. This is when, if you have a roller, this works great. So you're not, I don't have a roller. That's on my to-do list. I keep forgetting that's what I need when I go to the store. So, all right. Then I'm going to go ahead and where's my, I keep losing my train of thought. Okay, so it's right. We'll do this side. Alright, let me flip this around because I'm a righty and I just tend to work better when it's on my right side. Let's see. I might have to play some music so you guys don't get bored. Sometimes I forget I'm filming and forget to talk to you guys, and I'm lost in thought at what I'm doing, and you guys have patience with me. I've been so busy this past week. I haven't been able to film as much as I've wanted to, and I've had special orders I needed to finish, and it's just like, you know, never ending. Oh, let's aim it. Oh, it's crooked, Wendy, it's crooked. Crap. Go. There we go. Alright. That's good. Let me get a wet wipe. You guys use wet wipes? I can't live without them. Cannot live without them. Especially when I'm so messy with the glue. So, let me put that. Of course, I just like my area clean too. I've cleaned up my mess because I know the last few times, you know, my area has been really messy when I've filmed, and it's like, oh boy. And you're going to be like, Wendy, what are you doing? Alright, now, let me smash this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this time to fully dry. And I will be back when it's dry. Oh, so if you guys are doing this along with me, so after you get this glued, trim it all down. You know, trim it all down and break it back in. But I recommend you wait until it fully dries. Okay, let it cure really good. Okay, I will be back soon. So hopefully you let this dry fully, which is what I did. And then of course I bent it or broke the spine again. And of course I trimmed around it. So this is gonna just be the basic of the signature. And I went ahead and picked out my papers and got my signature together because I'm sure you guys didn't want to see that. I'm going with a darker theme, and let me just show you some of the, okay, so these are the darker papers I picked out have a white side, which I'm going to keep because I'm going to use that as more of the journaling spaces. I will put, you know, more, we'll get to that later. But I wanted to show you the colors I chose, a little bit more darker themed, blacks, there is a total of 11 pages, and that is counting the book pages I put in here as well. Okay, so 11 pages. This is the center. Let me just double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 11 pages. Now, in order to work my paper in, because I'm using the full 12 by 12 sheets. Okay, so in order to get these to fit without having to add more bulk and tape them or glue them or add a hinge system, what I did was add different folds. So if you notice, this side is short, so I'll have every other one. So this is a full sheet, a full 12-inch sheet. I just, you know, trimmed down the height and then folded it to the size that I wanted. I mean, to the size of the journal I wanted. And then this will be just a smaller page, which I like because it adds some interest to it. So they're not all just, you know, one size pages. Because since this is a single signature, you don't want to go crazy and add, you know, ledger, you know, different, you could do different papers, but you don't want to just bulk it up with a bunch of smaller pieces of paper, because you're going to do the bulk of your stuff on top of these pages, if that makes sense. Anyway, I got it trimmed down. Like I said, there's 11 sheets of paper here, including the book pages I'm including. These are the book pages I have left. Not that many. Oops, wait a minute. Plus, I got the sticker one. Maybe you guys can comment and let me know if I should use the stickers, or maybe cut off one side and use those stickers and then put the rest included in the journal for whoever gets it, or whoever wants it. I'll probably end up listing it on Etsy, or whoever wants it, you know, they can contact me, but we'll see. I might keep it myself. Who knows? All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets of book pages left that I will use to decorate inside the book as well. So just so you know, so there weren't that many pages. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will be setting this in, and I will do a pamphlet stitch, which is the 3-hole stitch. I will go ahead and put that in because I'm not going to be adding a lot. There's no lace. There's not going to be any lace on this because this is not the type of book that needs lace. Maybe some cheesecloth or something, but no lace. So it's not going to have a lot of stitches or anything. This is just, I think I'm gearing it toward a beginner junk journalist, that they can, you know, begin like a beginner journal. Who knows? You guys can help me decide on this. Leave your comments below so I can figure that out. So I will be back after I get the signature sewn in.